Thank you for joining us. Catherine, is the Great Resignation likely to happen in Malaysia and countries in Southeast Asia? What is happening to employees right now when they work from home?
Okay. Actually, the Great Resignation will not happen in Malaysia overnight, but the trend has already started. Because if you refer to the latest research released by Ernst & Young in July, I think just 2 months ago, the research found out that half of Malaysian employees said after the pandemic, if their companies cannot offer them flexibility of remote work, they will quit from their jobs. So it's already happening. As a company, if we check the recruitment website, such as JobStreet, regularly, we can also notice that more and more of our competitors are actually advertising vacancies for working from home or flexible working hours. And it's not only our competitors are doing that. Some vacancies in other industries which can offer like better like flexibility in terms of working time, location, and also working content. They are grabbing talents from us. So that's what's happening now.
But Catherine, what are the most common concerns or complaints in Asian workplaces or workplaces in Asian countries that could benefit from the OKR approach or assistance?
Okay. I think as Asian countries and the Asian workplace, our corporate culture is affected by our nation culture. Like in many of the Asian countries, we have hierarchy culture in the society. So that affects the way we work. So some common complaints for Asian workplace are like 1 week communication instead of like 2 weeks communication, and also delegation, not delegating work effectively to subordinators. And also, I think what's more important is a hierarchy way of decision making. That means whatever like company goals or team goals are decided by the higher management, not getting the lower like employees involved. So this has a common complaints and concerns in our Asian workplace. And how OKR can fix this problem? If we can adopt OKR successfully in our workplace, at least when we are creating objectives and key results, we will get employees involved. That means we give them the ownership of the company goals. When they feel they are part of the bigger picture, when they feel they can also utilize their talents to contribute to the company goals, they will be more engaging in Asian or in our companies.
Catherine, should employers adjust their expectations, and should perhaps the KPIs be revised since people are working from home? It's not the same as working in the office, and it's not, they don't have the same facilities and same interactions with their colleagues. So should the KPIs be revised, and should employers also adjust their expectations?
Oh, this is a good question. It actually reminded me my other experience. The other day when I was listening to a radio program, the program was discussing the policies and the working from home matters. So one audience called in and he shared with us his experience. He said after the pandemic, his company provided employees with terrible policies and working from home like SOP, something like that. And after some time, he couldn't bear with the terrible policy, and he tendered resignation letter to his supervisor. At that time, his family and friends thought he was crazy because the economy was not optimistic. Why are you tendering a resignation letter? But he said he couldn't tahan with the poor policy, and the company doesn't want to adapt to changes. They don't want to revise their KPIs. They don't want to revise relevant SOP employee benefit. They stick to the original SOP KPI when time was back before the pandemic. So that's why he tendered resignation letter. And surprisingly, after a couple of months, he managed to find a better job. And And also what is ironic is his supervisor also tendered resignation letter to the company and managed to find a better job in some other companies. So the lesson is I would suggest that our companies not only to revise KPI, but also to review the existing SOP policy like employee benefit and other relevant policies to keep it updated.
Let's talk about the example that you gave earlier. Were these employees demotivated or detached due to working perhaps from home for a longer period of time than they expected?
Yes, definitely. Okay, so I think there are many problems when employees are working from home. One of the major problems is there is no clear boundary between work and life. So that's why many employees complaining that previously when they are working from office, they have 1 hour lunch break. But when they are working from home, they only have 10 to 15 minutes lunch break. Despite the fact that they are working longer hours, their bosses cannot see them on daily basis. So the bosses tend to add more job to employees to make sure that they are still working at home. And this causes the burnout of employees. So this is the complaint from employee. But from the management perspective, from CEO's perspective, CEO thinks that everything in the company is delayed. Things are not moving faster. So CEO also have a burning question like, what are you busy with when everything is delayed? So one of my clients shared with me the other day when he was having virtual meeting with his management team, and he said, guys, I know all of you are very busy, but can any of you share with me what is the most important job you need to get it done within the next 3 months? And this CEO was shocked by his management reaction. Half of his employee was stuck because they never thought of the business priorities. And the other half of employees were sharing something which are totally irrelevant about the company goals. So the CEO was very disappointed about this. So both sides has their problems and complaining during the working from home environment.
But tell us about this objective and key results approach, the OKR. Can it help to redefine success? What does it mean for an organization to be successful, especially during this very challenging period?
Yeah, of course. OKR stands for objectives and key results. It's a very simple but powerful management tool to create high-performing team and business. And it has been used by many top-performing companies such as Google, LinkedIn, and Huawei. So if you are a CEO or if you are a team leader, OKR is critical to your company's success because it creates alignment within your company, so everybody can work towards the same direction, and that's how your company's goal can be achieved faster and effectively.
Tell us about how can organizations and what can they do to stop this Great Resignation. You're saying that it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen during a longer period, right? And how can they reduce that?
Yes. We cannot stop this trend because anyway, it's happening around the world and also happening in Malaysia. But we can definitely minimize the pitfalls of this Great Resignation if we start to prepare now. For example, if we use objective and key results as a simple communication tool to engage our employees and to help them understand what are our business priorities and what are our company goals. And especially we use OKR to connect company goals together with employees' goals. When the alignment is there, everybody moves towards the same direction, so we can achieve faster in terms of our company goals. And the next thing is, if we are using OKRs, we can create a transparent system within our company. Transparent means that what everybody's objective, action plan, progress will be known by other team members in the same department or even in the same company. So that will facilitate our business leaders to navigate the performance. why business leaders struggle to know what is going on because employees cannot measure the progress of their goals. But by using OKRs, it is very easy for you to navigate because the system is transparent. And under this transparent system, employees will improve their self-discipline and accountability because they are aware that whatever they are doing, whatever the objectives they are having are known by others, including their supervisors.
And Catherine, share with us what can employees do in this situation? Because I think they are also perhaps a bit afraid to tell their managers that they are under a lot of stress, so they keep it inside. What can they do in this situation where they are a bit overwhelmed with everything that's happening around them?
Yes, you are right. Absolutely. Our employees are overwhelmed because there are so much to cope, both in terms of personal life and also work at home when they are working at home. I have a client who shared this with me. He used OKR to focus what matters to his department goal. By having ongoing conversation, he checked with his supervisor whether he is working on something that is very relevant to the department goal, that is very important to his supervisor. And they are having this conversation on weekly basis. And sometimes when he needs some assistance, for example, resources, or when he needs some help, he will ask during this one-to-one OKRs conversation. And from this one-on-one OKR conversation, his manager understands better what is going on even when his employee is working from home. And he also understands what kind of resources, help, assistance he needs to provide to his employee. And this employee actually shared with me, because he is working in IT department, and it seems that IT department is the busiest department within the company. Every day, some other department give them ad hoc task, which is urgent, which is important. But by using OKR, he can strongly focus on what matters to his department goal. Sometimes when he review his OKR, he noticed that I'm not doing anything for OKR this week. I need to catch up. So that's how he makes sure that week by week, although he is overwhelmed by all the tasks given by other people, he still knows what is important to his department, and he still knows what is important in his agenda list.
On that note, thank you very much, Catherine, for joining us. Catherine Chen, pengasas
You're welcome.
OKR Coaches, membincangkan berkenaan dengan The Great Resignation yang dilaporkan dalam majalah Inc. Berkenaan dengan peletakan jawatan secara besar-besaran. Itu adalah laporan kita untuk Niaga Awani pada pagi ini. Teruskan bersama kami untuk perkembangan dalam dan juga luar negara, terutama berkenaan dengan perkembangan sidang parlimen. Sekian Niaga Awani. Ikuti perjalanan 100 hari pertama Kabinet Pimpinan Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob untuk membuktikan keberhasilan dan juga pencapaian kepada rakyat, dan segala maklumat lain dalam astroawani.com, juga aplikasi Astro Awani. Terima kasih kerana menonton saluran berita paling dipercayai di Malaysia. Saya Rizal Zulkapli. Salam hormat.